Good morning, everybody. This is Imaginary Dreams once again for the Figuary Self Critique Day 24. We once again get a special long episode by the amazing people at CroquisCafe and a great lesson once again by the guys at Love Life Drawing. Today was a little bit challenging, had a different mindset compared to the previous days, trying to focus on different aspects. And from my personal observation while drawing, other things seem to have suffered or going down just a little bit, but we will get into that in the episode. And one of those things is like trying to sort of draw the face or hair, and in those 1 minute poses, those features are not as important, especially for someone like myself who is still a little bit slower, especially on some of the more complex poses that might need a little bit more time thinking of the measurement. And complex poses for me, I mean, is someone who's just standing straight because it just feels like what are the actual measurements because everything is all stretched out, while if someone is sort of crouched and all close together, then sure, everything is bent, and to me at least, I think it seems a little bit easier. But with that said, let's get into the first sketch. And so the first sketch, now that I'm able to actually see the pose side by side, it seems like I didn't do sort of too badly with the proportions. While drawing, I was still a little bit disappointed that I'm not able to get this arc on the back as sort of clean as I wanted to, and the butt should be a little bit more curved. And if we look down once again at the placement of the legs, one is clearly farther back than the other, and this leg, even though the butt seems a little bit sort of smaller, the leg seems a little bit too large, and this hand has to come out a little bit more. But at least sort of the head is sort of tilted a little bit correct. But that's just the first pose, so let's move on to the next one. Here again, kind of spent a little bit too much time on the face and then causing a lot of weakness on sort of this right leg coming a little bit forward, and then this sort of other leg coming behind is way too large, since we have the butt here and then the leg comes down right under it, so it's like needs to be a little bit more curved, and the body is also a little bit too short. Next pose, this is sort of slightly better, but the head is a little bit too small, but the leg seems to be, this leg needs to be a little bit lower. This one's a little bit straight, and even though this is sort of in front, the other leg goes towards the back side. And so even though the body seems a little bit curved as needed, it still doesn't have sort of the figure of 3 dimension to it that I kind of would like. It needs to have like better shapes to indicate its form. Next pose, again, still got the curve down, but I kind of wish to get the legs a little bit more accurate and also into the page for next time. Hand placement is sort of around straight, but this is already going a little bit too far, and so this part of the arm is also not long enough. Moving right along, this is, I think, starting to look slightly better. We see again this leg is a little bit forward while this leg is in the back, so try to indicate that as best as I can in the moment. Had a better back curve to it, exaggerated slightly. Maybe this sort of back part down to her butt is not long enough, and did not have enough space for the arm. Head is a little bit better, but maybe need a little bit more on the upper area, but kind of got cut by the paper again. But yeah, just better than the previous ones. This one, again, as you might know now, I like these kinds of poses, but shame on me, kind of lost it in the bottom side. And I started on this leg since it's one of the bigger forms, and I think it's also that it kind of connects to so many different parts of the body. So we know the legs just goes up and then down as shown, and then we just connect the arm right next to the leg as shown. But now that I can see more clearly, this shoulder should be more in line, and this one is a little bit too high, so it should be much lower. And because of where the shoulder is and the head just sort of tilts down, but I'm missing sort of this back area. Now that I can compare side by side, the shoulder is a little bit too not long enough, and then this leg is a little bit too low. This one is sort of coming here when my drawing is sort of coming outwards. I kind of could see while drawing that I kind of messed up, since we have the connection between this foot and the other leg coming downwards. So it should be around here instead, coming down. But still like this pose a lot. Next pose, again cut off the leg. Messed up there, but I think I'm able to get the flow down a little bit better. Kind of got stuck with how the shape of the leg curved on the back side and where the foot should be in comparison. But besides this leg being cut off, I think I managed to keep the overall dimension. This arm could come up a little bit better to get this kind of edge shape. It's not a necessarily round, but in our elbows and including knees, there's a more sort of edge or edges to them, not necessarily completely round. And I could add a little bit of a back marking like down here to indicate like where is the middle of the back a little bit better, and somewhere on the side. But then the hair is also in the way, so the hair should be a little bit longer in the drawing. This one went a little bit crazy. Once again, wanted to get that crazy curve down, but little did I know, after drawing, like basically I was drawing this way and then I come around to finish back around here. But later down when I finished this, I realized like, oh shit, this leg is actually quite huge. So head is a little bit bigger, maybe slightly too big, and because again the hand is actually touching the ankle, but my drawing never reached the ankle part, and maybe because of the leg not being in the right position here, this then leg couldn't connect as seen in the image, and so that is a little bit a big mistake that I should try to fix next time. This one is quite a unique pose. I would like to check like how what's the actual distance like I would say like it's too long, like I drew it too long, and you can see it clearly right there that it's that my drawing was too long in comparison. Whoops, sorry about that. But the angle of the legs I think came out quite nicely. The shape I think could be a little bit better. It's a little bit too samey, and that there should be more distinction between where one side of the muscle and one side of the leg is compared to the other, if anything else. I think the weakest part is like down here, like how the shoulder curves over in comparison with the neck. The shoulder curves over, arms goes down and then comes forward, and where the head shape actually is, since there is a lot of hair blocking down the shapes. But if we look more closely, we can sort of see a little bit of the jaw down here, and that should help quite a lot. Kind of messed up on that part right there. And now to our last pose. Just this sort of standard sitting down. Head is a little bit too small. Needs a little bit more in the upper regions. And I feel like the leg looks a little bit thicker. And then there's this sort of larger curve. For some reason I decided to just go straight, and then we ended on the butt, hips right there when she's curved much higher up in her waist area. And the shoulders are more in this V shape peeking upwards. This one still feels a little bit too straight forward. But beyond that, I don't really have anything else to say. Maybe you guys throughout the video see something else that I have missed, and feel free to leave a comment if you like. But with that said, I will be ending today's self-journal, self-critique. And of course, feel free to go check out CroquisCafe and Love Life Drawing, since they made this event in the first place. And I will catch you guys later. Bye for now.